Hello, everyone. This is John Turner-McClelland with Cooper Mac Realty Group, powered by Worth Clark Realty. Welcome, everybody. Today we have on the program Abbie Alter of PlanoMoms.com. Abbie, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you, John. How are you?
Good. It's nice to meet you. Wanted to get you on the program because you have a website sort of like ours developed to hit the local market, specifically online. Um, your website is driven towards moms, obviously, in the Plano area. So, wanted to get an idea of what Plano Moms does exactly and why you decided to start the website and go from there.
Okay, so Plano Moms is the one-stop go-to resource for all things that moms in Plano could ever need. And I'll give you a story as to how it came about. So coming up to 8 years ago, I moved from London, England, to Plano directly with my husband, and I had two young children at the time. And I left everyone behind, all my friends and family. And when I arrived here, I was fortunate to get a rental property, but I didn't know where we should plant roots. I didn't know which were the best schools. I didn't know the best doctors, the best hairstylists, the best nail salons. I didn't know any of that. And I didn't have any friends to ask. So I very quickly, when I registered my oldest at school, I got together with a couple of other local moms and we created a Facebook group called Plano Moms Talk. And that group was the beginning of the Plano Moms kind of platform of the website, email, newsletters, and social media. So it was really out of a need of providing resources that I myself didn't have. I recognized that, when I saw adverts, I didn't know if I could trust, a flyer that arrived in my mailbox, but I definitely would have trusted other moms who made suggestions and recommendations to me. So that's really how Plano Moms came about.
Well, yeah, for a lot of people, that's how it starts. They don't have that community, and you have to build the community yourself. So that was a great idea. So, why did you move from London to Plano, of all places?
Well, so my husband had an opportunity with his company to do a 2-year contract in Dallas. And we wanted to move to Plano because the school district has such a great reputation. We all had already heard about that, even in England, when we did our research on where we should live. So we decided to move to Plano for that reason.
It's kind of odd to think that even overseas, people are like, "Oh, Plano, Texas is where I should be." Um, does he work in the area, not in Plano?
He's based, well, in normal times, he's based in downtown Dallas, but he does travel a lot. We were only meant to be here for 2 years. We're coming up to 8 years, and we have permanent residence right now. So I think this is our home, and our kids are in middle school nearly. One is coming up to middle school, the other one's going to high school. So this is definitely our home. We love Plano.
Yeah, we all think we're going to stay here only a short amount of time and then live here forever. I'm coming up on 20 years in North Texas, not in Plano, but in the general area. I've only been in Plano a short period of that time. But July will be 20 years in Texas. It's the
Mm.
longest anywhere I've lived, which is kind of crazy to think about, considering
Yeah.
I've moved a few times in my life. Um, so I noticed on your website, not only driven towards the community side, the business side of things, um, a blurb about being anti-racist, which is obviously a good thing.
Mhm.
Um, what is the main driver behind, excuse me, behind putting that on the website and pointing that out to people?
Well, so there's two reasons for that. The first is that, one of the reasons I love Plano is because we are a very diverse population. And I think that's a real strength. Coming from a different country and living here as a foreigner, you see things with your own perspective, and I can perhaps see things a little objectively, more objectively. And so, one of the things that I've wanted to do during the last 2 years is to really become more involved in the community. And one of the things I've done is joined the Junior League of Collin County. And I really, I love being a member of that organization, not just because it offers you volunteer opportunities, but also because they are very interested in personal development. So back in October, I actually took part in a national challenge, um, an anti-racist challenge, whereby I spent 3 weeks on a daily basis actually learning along with a small group of women all about the various aspects of racism. And that changed me forever. And as a white person with white skin, I recognize that I have a lot of privileges which those of our women of color in the area do not, and their kids do not, their families do not. So I made a very, very important decision back in November to stake the claim that we would work as a media platform, as a brand, as a local community to be more anti-racist. And it is a constant process. So I don't know it all, but I've certainly learned a lot, and I still am learning every single day.
That's good. Go through that and recognize their privilege as a white cisgender person. I'm not heterosexual, but I can pass for one. So anyone looking at me is going to say, "Oh, he's just a straight white guy." So that's good that you guys are doing that. Has the pandemic affected web traffic, your group traffic, or anything like that, positive or negative?
I would say both. In the first, couple of months, March, April, May time last year, our site traffic definitely dropped because much of the normal content that people are looking for, they no longer were looking for. They had other more important things to think about. So much of our web traffic is, things to do in the area, local events, which obviously were not happening face to face. People had that their lives had changed beyond measure in a very short time. So we did pivot very, very quickly. We started actually publishing content which was much more relevant and important. And one of the good things about having a Facebook group is that you can follow conversation, you can understand and listen very carefully to what mums are discussing, what problems they're having. And the content we create on our website and the content we push out on social media addresses those problems. So we were able still to get a lot of site traffic after the first few weeks of things kind of going crazy back in the springtime, simply by providing fresh content that was able to address the pandemic. And I would say that over the last few months, we've evolved even more in doing so. So I'll give you an example. Maybe in the last few months, people have not been traveling very much. Well, now they're wanting to get out quite a lot more. So we are noticing day trip posts that we're doing. People really want to get out for the day, or they want to go away for the weekend. Road trips, drivable distance travel ideas are really, really, really popular right now. So I think it's just a case of meeting the needs where they are, and that's what we've been able to do.
Yeah, that's a good thing too. Obviously, you see, I'm virtually at the beach right now, so I decided to change up the virtual background today because it's a little colder today. So I decided I need to be somewhere warm. Um, I can't take a day trip to the beach, but at least we're somewhat close to a beach if I wanted to go.
I will say, though, that there is a small beach in Little Elm, which is not very far
So
away. It's not that exciting, but it's still a beach. So
it
you can
is.
just pretend, if you would like, and just do that for the day.
It is. I've been there. I used to live in Paloma Creek on Highway 380 for 10 years. So I'm well aware of that lake beach. And there is one at the other lakes do have beaches, small beaches, like you said. At least Little Elm tries. They made it slightly larger than it needs to be, but a lot of people do use it. That's for sure. It's probably one of the bigger lake beaches around here. Since we're talking about pandemics, what do you like to do for fun besides trying to think of day trips during the pandemic?
Yeah, so I mean, I used to love going to the gym, and I have cancelled my gym membership, but I am creating a home gym. So I do love to work out. I'm a massive Peloton fan. I joined the cult of Peloton, which I know that many people have got into that this year. I do love to go out and get out into the fresh air and go visit new places. I really enjoy that. But I also am very passionate about our local community in our city. So I do spend a lot of time kind of following what's happening in the local area, and even watching city council meetings, which most people find really dull and boring. I actually find them really interesting because I love to know what's going on. Um, so I think that's hugely important. And for all those who are listening, if you are interested in getting a bit more involved in the city of Plano and really understanding how everything works, I know that Leadership Plano is a great program and it runs annually. And I was able to be in the class 37 last year before everything closed down, and that program also has changed me beyond measure. So I'm really happy that I understand so much about how our local organizations work.
Congrats on finishing that program. I finally applied for the program. I've actually held elected office before, which some people don't know. So in Paloma Creek, since we were talking about that, some people don't know about freshwater supply districts, but there's a lot of them, and they all have their own boards. They all have their own elected officials, and they all have their own ability to sell bond debt, which is the main driving goal of those boards. And it's exactly the same thing that the city council would do, just on a more micro level. So I was essentially the sort of like the mayor of my little box, my
Well,
box
that's
of several
yeah.
thousand people, but still,
That's great though, and I thank you for putting yourself out there to do that, because I would say most of these positions are voluntary. So when you invest your personal time and energy into doing something that benefits a lot of people, that's always a great thing. So thank you for that.
so what can viewers do that are watching this right now for Plano Moms? What do you guys need from other Plano Moms or anyone that wants to check you out?
Well, we don't really need anything. I mean, we are very, very grateful for anyone who reads any of our content, watches our videos, follows us on social media. But I'll tell you where you can find out more. We are publishing content constantly. I should have mentioned that this is a women-owned, mum-owned company, and I actually have a team of mums that work for me and with me remotely from home, flexibly. And so there's 5 of us in total. Everyone is just constantly providing different types of resources online for everyone locally. So you can go to planomoms.com and look through all of the content we're publishing there. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Plano Moms, which is our public page. And also, if you are a mum and you live, work, play in Plano or the surrounding cities, you can join our Facebook group, which is Plano Moms Talk. And we also have Instagram, so instagram.com/Plano Moms, and we would love to see you over there too. We also have an email newsletter, so do go ahead and sign up to our list. There's a link on our website where you can do that. And so we'll just see you on your smartphone. So wherever you want to get our content, we are there.
You are all of the interwebs,
All of
everywhere
the
you can find
interwebs.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, for everyone watching, we'll have links in the description below on YouTube as well, and on parkbench.com. So I want to thank you for joining me today, Abbie. It was a pleasure listening to you and meeting you, hearing about Plano Moms.
And to you. Thank you, John.
Thanks. Everyone watching, have a great day. This is John Turner-McClelland with Cooper Mac Realty Group, Worth Clark Realty. Have a good one. Bye.